You mentioned Elon a little bit ago. I know you guys have like, I don't know if it's a feud. What is it? You think it almost seems romantic a little bit?
Yeah, I just like to fuck with him.
Yeah,
right. I mean, because it's like
he loves being on Twitter too.
Oh, it's his thing, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's
I guess if I just paid 40-something billion.
Yeah, you paid 44 billion. You better hang out. It's like why do I go to the Mavs games, right? You know. But yeah, I don't dislike Elon, but he says some stupid shit, and it's just like I have no problem calling him out.
Yeah,
and he's thin-skinned, right? And so, like, I'll tell you my one little Elon story, right? So I didn't get to know him, but I was helped him with something or tried to help him. And so I had his number and I texted him a couple of times, like he had a kid and I'm like, congrats on your 97th kid. And he texted me back, Mars needs kids, right? Mars needs people. And I'm like, that's funny as shit, right? And so one day I had a Tesla and I said something about it and he just sends me a text with the article saying, fuck you. That's it. Just fuck you. And I was like, okay. I mean, it was the truth, right? Fuck you. I'm like, okay, so that's
a text with the article that what?
That I said something that wasn't totally positive about Tesla.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, right? So that's what the article was about.
Right. So he was just like, fuck you. I'm like, okay. And then it was nothing, no big deal. I don't care one way or the other. And then when he buys Twitter, right? And then he starts getting real political, right?
Yeah.
And so not a lot of people are going to stand up to him. And I'm like, fuck it, I don't care, right? So he's called me racist. He's called me, poop emoji multiple times. He calls me all these names. And so like that, to me, that just gives me license to fuck with him even more, right? I don't care if he calls me names. I don't give a shit what he thinks, right? But it's still fun, right? Just to hit him with the LOLs or whatever.
Yeah, because at that point, you're just kind of having a good time. And Twitter is a strange place where you can just kind of say whatever. It kind of exists. It kind of doesn't. The news, like... Twitter's just such a bizarre place.
It really is.
I wish they would take a lot of the pornography off of there.
Hardcore, right? How they get away with all that shit? Because you only have to be 13 to go on there, right? Yeah. You talked about some of the shit we were talking earlier. That's where the shit just shows up in your face all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That kind of stuff is. I think. Yeah. I wish that we didn't have that. And yeah, and I think, and he's always on there. But yeah, I think he might still be high off the fact that he bought it, that he owns it.
Look, you got to give him tons of credit, right?
Yeah.
SpaceX, Starlink, Tesla, shit, dude's like the entrepreneur of our generation, right? There's like nobody close,
yeah.
At least in the 2000s, right? And so I have total respect for him as an entrepreneur, but his skin is so thin, how can you not fuck with him?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, Twitter's definitely a place where, is it real? Is it not real? I don't know. It's always been interesting. I was happy that he bought it though. I feel like he kind of rescued it because I feel like a lot of like the mainstream media and like the social media platforms, they seem all pretty left leaning, right?
Used to be, for sure. Right. But now, like, the biggest platforms are Fox News, Daily Wire, the big names. Like, name the big left-leaning anchors or whatever. Who are the most left-leaning big celebrities in media today?
Well, I guess you'd probably have like Don Lemon, I guess.
He got fired.
He did?
Yeah, he got fired from CNN. He's gone, right? He ain't got shit going on.
Oh, damn. When life gives you Don Lemon, let him go.
Right? But you get the point, right?
I don't know.
There's no big names.
But CNN, a lot of the mainstream media has been notoriously kind of left leaning. I think it seems like they're anti. I mean, especially like during the first time that Trump was running, like the only people that even the late night hosts would make fun of were basically like kind of poor whites, it seemed like.
Yeah, for sure. That was wrong.
It got like, if you were like conservative or Christian, I feel like those people get the brunt of shit a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, right? But I guess my point is in 2016, it was different, right? TV was still up here, right? Getting 9-10 million viewers a night for a TV show was okay, right?
Yeah.
And so whoever was on the news then or CNN, they were getting millions of people. Now the only platforms getting a lot of viewers are like Fox News is the biggest. MSNBC gets some, like a Rachel Maddow, you could say. But for every Rachel Maddow, there's Sean Hannity, there's Laura Ingraham, there's, all the hosts. And then you got Ben Shapiro's, you've got all these right wing, the Tucker Carlsons.
Yeah.
And so the bigger stars now and the bigger media presence is on the right. And so I think what's happened on Twitter now, since Elon has pushed it to the right, I think it's kind of flip-flopped, right? In 2016, if you went on and talked about Trump positively, you would get shit on.
Oh, you couldn't say anything. If you were even a conservative, you couldn't even ask a question.
Right, you would get shit on,
It
right?
was very scary.
Right, so it was left-leaning, but now it's the exact opposite, right? When I say stuff about Harris, you can just look at my mentions, my replies, and I'm just getting destroyed. I'm a communist. You're a fucking Jew. Go back to hell. This is this. This is that.
Jews aren't from hell. That's
well,
crazy.
No, but
dude.
that's what they. No, it's
but
all
at least
crazy.
Look at the history. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
look at a map.
insane. The anti-Semitism on that place. Maybe it's just pointed at me, right? But I know Ben Shapiro. I looked in his replies because I'm just curious, right? So, point being that I think it's flip-flopped.